Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is well. At this point, I just delayed just to piss Heidi off, so she's somewhere in the country. Tell me, Scheiße, he's never on time. I just want to watch the stream. Anyway, I am your host, Ed Honcho. I'm invisible, right? Because the white supremacy and patriarchy has made me invisible this evening. Um, so what I hope all of you guys are doing well. Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den is discussing everything naturally. I am your host, Ed Honcho, and I'm just kicking it. Actually, give me just a moment. I actually need about 45 seconds here, so I just realized I got this bad habit of doing stuff. This bad habit of doing things without my glasses now, and so when I wear them for a while and then I take them off, then I start to notice a difference. And this comes to like reading small stuff, little tiny things. Then I have tiny writing all over the screens, so it feels a little bit off. Give me just a moment. Let me go run and grab my glasses real quick. And we're going to get this party started. It's going to be a very interesting stream. Got a lot of videos I didn't show you guys yesterday. A particular video I posted in the Discord today I wanted to talk about. And I just want to discuss, I said, let me explain. I didn't put any other people on the thumbnails or anything like that today because I think some people are confused as to what I'm about, right? Like what I say and the reason why I say the things I say and maybe my ideology, my purpose, or the den as a whole, right? I think people get real confused because it's a little different than I guess what most people are used to when we come to talk about different conversations and things. And yeah, so just let me go grab my glass real quick and then we'll get into all of that. Um, did I disappear again? What happened? That's that's why. So you're like, oh, you came back. You still don't have any glasses on. What an asshole! Lied to us a little bit. I gotta clean them off. But let's see what we got joining us. I got some things I want to say, man. I'm just very anticipatory of a particular day. I've been doing some research, I guess you could say, you could call it, looking at alternative platforms, right? But ultimately, I don't need to find a platform. I need to build my own. That's the kind of person I am, right? Just like having control of stuff, but then too much control can be a good thing or a bad thing, I guess, depending on how you look at it. These things are dirty. All right. Infinity, what's the motherfucking deal? Riot. AK, what's the am I streaming to the sauce right now? The lovely Miss K Grace, how are you doing this evening? DeAndre, what's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss Sarah Lou, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi. Culture, the dot of the Discord. What's the motherfucking deal? 17, what's the motherfucking deal? The protege. Do. Mike, not Mike M. Michael Shomer. Mike M is a terrible person. And we'll leave it. We'll leave it that way. Only one lie. How are you doing this evening? DeWanda Will. Oh man, lost another laptop. We sell it for more rocks. Oh, something you might not know about me, Joe Rogan. I smoke rocks. Shout out to DeWanda. Let me see. Michael Irwin. Speaking of rocks, and makes me think of Michael Irvin. Anyway, let's see. And I love y'all. Shout out to Miss Gray. Shout out to Miss Sarah. Boop, 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 boop. Make sure Scott, who just wanted to go poop. I still be outside. Did I let him back in? I think I did. All right. So, okie dokie. Yes. Let's do that before we get into all the crazy videos and things. Let's get in touch with Miss Grace, because last night, you put beef in. You see what happened. You put beef in the den. Everybody starts. So we saw people coming out the woodworks that we ain't seen in the den in months, years. I think Marie and Misty were in here last night. That might not be true, but it sounds good, right? Close that out. That's not open. Where's the thingy? That's the one I need to open. All right, cool. Whatever reason the Discord is open. Let's get that out of there. Young Ken Cologne. What's the motherfucking deal? Okay, that's the wrong deal. All right. So, give me a moment. I'm gonna call up the lovely Miss Grace, and we're going to find out what happened with OG Cat Daddy, the new simping Ken. God dang it. This is annoying. So why does it do that? Let's don't do that. What is that right here? All right, cool. All right. For whatever reason, it doesn't let me switch it over from this side. I don't like it in this window. I want it on this side. Let's move it over here. There we go. Now I gotta look over here. It's all fucked up. All right. Give me just a moment. That's a smart way to do it. Boop, boop, boop. Do. Let me know if that's a little too loud for y'all.
Hello.
Hello. Is this the lovely Miss Grace? Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you were.
Okay, first of all, let me apologize to everyone for not showing up last night. My granddaughter and I went down to the Cove for some soft serve ice cream I've been dying for days. And I ate the whole thing, and I came home, and I was in a soft serve cone Sunday coma. So when I woke up, everything was over with. But listen, I just wanted to talk a little bit because my relationship with Keith started here on the Den.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you all helped nurture this thing. You know what I mean? And I was just laying here minding my own business, and some of the guys in the Den took it the wrong way whenever, sometimes Trill also, when I said that my life was grand. You always heard me say that my life was grand, even without a man. It's not that I didn't want a man, it's just that I didn't need one because I did everything on my own so far. Everything. And so I was figuring that, okay, now I'm older. I don't want any drama, no hassles, no headaches. I'm okay with going to my grave without a man. My life is still grand. It's still beautiful. You know what I mean? Because I do everything for my kids. That's like saying when people say, oh, I would like to have twins in my family, and you don't have twins. You know what I mean? Just because you have regular kids that aren't twins doesn't make your family, your life any less beautiful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? My life was that. So, and people would say to me, You're like, I mean, you're not married. You don't have this. You don't have a guy. What? You mean you're like the total package? And they said you need to get out more because nobody's going to come knocking on your door and ringing your doorbell saying, oh, I heard you're so wonderful. You know what I mean? And I don't go out. I travel. You know what I mean? And I pretty much stay to myself. You know what I mean? I'm here for peace, and that's why I like this den thing. So then I was laying here April 28th of 2020, minding my business, because I said, if God wants me to have a man, he'll come. He can come through the walls, whatever. And that's when the phone rang. And it was Mr. Keith from over 40 years ago. And you heard how apprehensive I was to even deal with him. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, you heard how apprehensive I was because I wasn't looking for a relationship. And I gave him a hard time in the beginning. You know what I mean? He kept saying, Honcho, I'm going to be chucking at her, I'm going to be chucking at her. And he was wonderful. He worked at it, and I said, okay, maybe I'll give this a chance. And it was fun almost for an entire year. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. Even though it was long distance, we could still see each other. We had popcorn night together. We would watch TV together, and he doesn't even like watching TV. We'd listen to music together, and I don't even like listening to some of his music. My daughter would say, you two are always in each other's back pockets. Anything we ate, we took pictures of. We shared everything. It was like a full relationship, but long distance, because you can make it work. And then I went down there in the end of March, the beginning of April. And a woman's intuition is never wrong. And we were riding around in the car. And first of all, he doesn't listen. Like a lot of men don't listen. I hear women saying that. And the phone kept ringing. His car phone, the phone in the car kept ringing. And I could see the girl's name on there. And I said, answer the phone, answer the phone. He acted like he was all scared to answer the phone. And then he did answer it, and first thing I heard was, I'm going to need you to pay for my hotel room again.
Again?
What? Again? And then he stepped in and acted like he dropped the phone and made it hang up. And I said, well, call back, because I wanted to hear what was going on. And it's like, at my age, I shouldn't be going through this. He called back, and you know how they'll play it off and all that. And then he said something to her about afterwards when he talked with her. He said something about getting her a job because we went to the Rib Shack, J&J's Rib Shack. That's his friend's place. You know what I mean? And he said, his wife has a daycare center that you can get a job there. And that's when the girl said she couldn't get a job anyplace because she had a warrant out on arrest or had a court case or some stupid shit. So I'm like, what is she in trouble for? And he goes, I don't know. You need to know those things. This is how I am, Honcho. I'm cut and dry. You need to know those things. You don't know if she beat up an old lady. You don't know if she robbed an old man. You don't know if she raped a kid. You don't know. Am I right, Honcho?
That's correct. Yeah, you have no idea with people these days.
Yeah, exactly. And she could tell a lie, but you asked anyway. And so I said, hotel room. I'm going to tell you what. You leave that alone, because this was a girl that came from Virginia. She went down to Atlanta with a white girlfriend of hers. The white girl saying that, you hear Atlanta will roll right over you. People go down there without a plan, without money. They think because the cost of living is cheaper, they can make it. And a lot of these young people think it's going to be easy. They're not making it. You got to have a plan. You have to have some money. So this girl was hanging with his cousins, and they were running through her, having sex with her, fucking and sucking, all that other bullshit. They were doing all of that. And so she ended up living down the street in a vacant house. She was a squatter, a young hoe. And she was doing it just for the fun of it, because she doesn't even have custody of her 4-year-old son. So he always spoke of her as my little cousins that are like 36 years old and all that. That's their girlfriend. And I said, okay, I didn't think much of it. But then afterwards I was thinking, that's a little inappropriate. You know what I mean? When he called me from the barber shop one time, you know what I mean? She's there in the car at the barber shop, and, he would call me. So it seemed really innocent, my cousin's girlfriend. And I said, okay. So I said, well, that's inappropriate. That shouldn't be. You're like 40 years older than her. She's like young enough to be your granddaughter. She has no business hanging with her. Better yet, you have no business hanging with her. So he said, well, I'm just going to leave her right here. And being the kind woman that I am, looking out for people, I said, Keith, don't leave her there in the parking lot. It's getting dark. Make sure she gets home safely. Me, thinking of her. And then they both turned around and stabbed me in the back and started running around together and hanging out together. You know what I mean? And I'm a detective. and how I find out things. You know what I mean? And so all of a sudden, things started changing. My woman's intuition, things started being a little off. And then I found out that the girl was there. He was all of a sudden he's hurting for money. He needs money. He needs money. I'm like, why is your money funny? Because what I did with Keith, I was helping him like get his credit right, and his credit score went up. Everything got better. So now with this extra extended credit, what he was doing was he was using his credit card at the Country Inn in Atlanta. So she was staying there pulling tricks.
Oh my goodness.
Can you believe that? And so he ran over 3 credit cards. You mean he ran them up to almost $3,000.
No.
But then he was saying, but yeah, well, she gave me the money. She didn't have a card. She gave me the money. First of all, you had no business dealing with a person like that, because I said, how did she know you had credit cards? Were you showing off? He said, oh, well, if I went to the store, went to the gas station, first of all, when people ride with me, if I pull out a credit card and use it anywhere at a gas station, nobody will ask me to use it. I said, you need to quit hanging with needy people, because needy people will always need you. If they need you because she doesn't have a car, she doesn't have a place to live, she doesn't have her son, she's a 28-year-old girl, you know what I mean, that acts like a kid, and she just wants the trick to buy things, some new J's, all that, some things. So I told Keith this. I said, she needs rides, she needs this, she needs that. He was riding her around like driving Miss Daisy. You mean put his credit cards between 3 credit cards and ran them up. Let me tell you, I wrote down a list of things. Anybody tell me if I'm wrong what you would do. Listen to this, okay? They went out to eat. He took her to do her laundry. He gave her rides. When his best friend died, she accompanied him to view the body. And see, at that time, he said, because he had nobody to go with him, my cousin's girlfriend's going to go. So I didn't think anything of it at the time. I said he needed some support. And so I told my daughter, I said, because he's by himself and he was so tight with his friend, I had to fly down there afterwards in March just to comfort him and just to be there for him. She didn't have luggage. So he has a friend that has luggage in his house. He got her a piece of luggage. When his credit cards went to the maximum, got maxed out, and she got taken out of the hotel, and she got kicked out of the vacant building, then he sat there and got luggage from his friend for her. And when she had no place else to live because some other guy she was screwing, so she wasn't just a prostitute, she was a hoe because so many people were running through her. Then he took her over to his best friend's house for a week or two and had her put up there. And then I found out, with his telephone, something happened with his phone one day. The phone got messed up. Come to find out, Keith put her on his phone plan.
No.
So I asked him about it. So I said, you're sitting up there running up bills and things. And I said, and you got this girl on your plan. You need to cut that off. Well, she's one of the people. I didn't know she did. I was just sitting in the car. Just sitting in the car. He said, I just gave her my number. Then he caught himself, gave her the number. She already had your phone number. What do you mean gave the number? He gave his PIN number. And then he said the guy at the phone store came out and called him in. And he went and he did that. And guess what kind of phone she got? You ain't never going to guess. Guess what, Honcho?
A new iPhone.
Yes, she did. So she couldn't pay his best friend, and she still got things at their house. She couldn't pay him his money back, even though he lied and said, every day she stayed there, she gave me the money. Well, she gave you the fucking money, and you said you were putting it on the credit card. If I let you charge $100 and you give it to me, Honcho, and I put it right on the credit card, it'll be back at zero balance, won't it?
Exactly.
Well, his isn't. Yeah, it's still up there. So, of course, I snapped. Because I'm going to tell you, Honcho, I would do anything for anybody that I love. My kids, my friends, my family, everybody knows that about me. And this guy, I said, let me give him a chance. Because he was really sweet. He was really nice. I loved his family. And I said, okay. And his best friend, I won't say his name on air because he's a wonderful guy, Mr. C, he said, you're like the total package. He said, Kathy, she's educated. She works out. She's intelligent. She's pretty. She's well-rounded. He said, you got what I want. That's what I want. It's like I got the wrong guy. Because this one here doesn't. Let me tell you the other thing he did. He's got some other cousins, you mean like 36 years old, not paying for insurance on their cars, and I told him he didn't listen to me again. And one thing I will say, I'm going to say this in Keith's defense. One thing, he's nice, but too nice to a fault. And so I would have to watch so people don't take advantage of him. How many times when we first started talking, Honcho, when that guy would offer me money, he was sending money, you know what I mean? He was doing anything for me and mine. You mean, and I would say, no, thank you, that's okay, to let him know, because I'm not trying to use anybody. I have my own money. You mean, he did for me, I did for him. You mean, and so this cousin of his, 36 years old, he doesn't have insurance on his car, so he's getting tagged at the grandmother's house. So Keith said, so I'm going to take the insurance, and I'm going to put it on my insurance. I said, Keith, don't do that. If somebody doesn't pay their own insurance, don't put them on yours, because if he gets into a car accident or something like that there, you mean that you're liable. Do you think he listened to me, Honcho?
Nope.
No, he didn't. And guess what? I said, he's not going to pay you. Yeah, he will. That's family. That's family. He's not going to pay. And sure enough, he didn't. And that was the other thing that got ran up, because that kid didn't pay. Not kid, he's a 36-year-old man, didn't pay his portion. And I told Keith, and you keep getting left holding the bag. You mean, I can't be with somebody like that. You mean, he would sit there and blow all the money. You mean, I'm smart with my money. You know, you've seen that kitchen set that I have. I've had that since I was 18 years old, and had it reupholstered and refinished furniture and things like that. That's the type of person I am. I live a really modest life. You know, I don't get out there and advertise. And I tell him, you don't get out there and let people know what credit card you have, how much money you have, or anything like that there, because people will earmark your money.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely will.
You know, so this is where we're at. You mean, so I got really pissed off, and I pulled back. You know, and there's nothing worse than when you still have love for somebody or your children, anybody, and you have to give them the tough love. You mean that I won't give a dime. You mean I'm not going to help you. You mean pay bills that you ran up. And it wasn't just this girl. Then he was running around with his old girlfriend that looks like a wildebeest. That looks like she smells like brown liquor and cigarettes.
Mm.
If that's what you want to run around with, then you go for it. You mean, but I said, I don't want any drama in my life. So I told him, everything that I bought him, mail it back to me. I said, you better scrub that house of me. Scrub everything and send it all back. And yes, I did.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, that is like ridiculous. Come on, it's not normal for a man that age to be running around with a girl that age, especially a young hoe, because Keith thinks that hoeing shit is cute and funny. Okay, the things that, you know what I mean, that we thought were cute and funny back in the day are not cute and funny now. You know, but he still thinks it's cute and funny. You know what I mean? I don't. You know what I mean? So now he thinks I'm hard, I'm mean. You know what I mean? I have to pull back.
I don't blame you.
You know what I mean? Because I have to pull back, because I'm going to tell you something, Honcho, about me. You know how when everybody says, oh, Miss Grace is so nice, Mrs. Grace, and I always say, well, Mr. Keith is even nicer than me. Yeah, I can be nice, but I'm not always nice, because I'm going to tell you what. You mean, if you make me really, really mad, the temper goes from 0 to 1,000. You know that I can't even see. My peripheral vision totally disappears when I get mad. That's why I'm not always nice. It'll totally disappear, and I will focus just on my prey. You know, I wanted to swing his little ass all over the place like we were doing freaking square dancing and do-si-do and promenade.
So I have a question. And
Yes.
And like I said, because I noticed the last, few days prior to the revelation that I did see the name, that he uses on the on the chat, popping
Right.
here a couple of times, looking for Miss Grace, and he would do that from time to time, so
Right.
it would just be, kind of whatever, and didn't think anything of it.
Right.
And so has he tried to get back in contact? Has he been trying to make amends in any fashion, or has he accepted his fate?
Okay. Yes, we communicate a little bit, not as much as before, but I feel like this here. If somebody messes up on me, and I'm pretty clear, I'm crystal clear as to what you need to do. You need to fall on the sword. And I'll tell you, and it's not going to be nothing like you got to take a spaceship to the moon. Fall on the sword. Humble yourself. He doesn't want to do that, because in this guy's eyes, he feels like he has done nothing wrong. He's done nothing wrong. Well, at least I didn't fuck her. It doesn't make a difference. I don't know if you did or didn't, and that doesn't make a difference. Everything else you did was too much.
Yeah.
And when your woman tells you no, and she gives you the reason, especially if your woman's a smart woman, she's not some asshole, then you listen. I wasn't saying it to be mean. I was looking out for that girl when I said make sure she gets home safely. I was telling him because I know a user when I see it. If she needed him right now, that means she didn't have shit. She didn't know him that long. She just come into town. She hasn't been there long. She shouldn't need anybody. If I run into anybody, you should not need me like this. Because when you give them a ride, they need another ride, and then another ride. Then they don't have a credit card. Then they need to use your credit card. And then they don't have some place to stay. Then they need some place to stay. They don't have a phone. Then they need a phone. Those are needy people. They will suck you dry. You don't let people suck you dry. My mother taught us how to be tough, and I told my kids the same thing. When their friends would come over and play with them and pull every toy out of their toy box, and then the kid's mother would call them and the kids would run out the door, I told my kids, you know what? You need to learn to control your friends. You tell them either don't take everything out my toy box or you ain't going nowhere until you help me clean it back up. Because I said, if you don't, then I'm going to beat your ass and you're going to clean it up.
Yeah.
You don't let people take advantage of you like that.
So
So I have mixed feelings. I feel sad, disappointed, hurt, mad, embarrassed, ashamed, all of that. And I said, I don't mind, putting myself out on the den because you're people that I can talk to, and this relationship started on the den, and Keith was so wonderful. And the only way that I can forgive him a little bit is forgiveness out of pity. And the other thing, he never wants to look like a sucker-ass nigga. When she said, I'm going to need you to pay for my hotel room again, I said, what? He goes, I ain't no sucker-ass nigga. I ain't paying for no hoe, no young hoe. He swore up and down that that's the worst thing that anybody can do. So then he's going to try to tell me, he said, you didn't hear that. Nigga, how you going to tell me I didn't hear that? I might have to put on glasses now to watch TV and to read something, but I said I have bionic hearing. You remember I told you that before, Honcho, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows I got bionic hearing. I can hear a mouse pissing on cotton from across the street. So don't tell me, nigga, what I didn't hear. Don't play me stupid. You ain't got the... please. So that's what's been going on.
That is very unfortunate, because I think we were all kind of rooting for Mr. Keith, since we kind of met him, when he first came in. It was a little different, but he did seem like a nice guy,
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like
He's got a very nice side to him.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate. So
and there was something else I was going to say. Oh, and then by him, and when I was figuring about the young girl, then he hit me up about his old girlfriend, the other girl, and I'm like, you should be riddled in guilt. I could never cheat on anybody, Honcho. I've never been a cheater. I don't believe in it. You know what I mean? And so if I went out to eat or something, I'd probably feel so freaking guilty and be so frontard and things, I'd make myself sick. That I would say, I got to get out of here. I can't do this again. He went to one day. He sent me a video, a little short video of a Japanese steakhouse where the Asian guy is fire shooting out of the freaking onion volcano shit. Yeah. And I'm thinking when he sent that video, usually how I told you before, he always took pictures. Mm-hmm. This is my cousin. This is my grandmother. He names all the people. No people are in the video. So I said, red flags went up again. I said, Keith ain't about that life because Keith doesn't eat that way. What I liked about him is what people say I look like I'm at least 10 years younger and I take care of myself. I said I never wanted a man that looked like an old man. Keith is very youthful and has even more energy than I do. He's very youthful. In fact, his whole immediate family, everybody's in good shape. Everybody looks really young. And so I like that about him as well. And he doesn't eat like that. Keith is happy sitting there eating his little oatmeal with his little cinnamon and peanut butter in it. You know what I mean? He eats low on the food chain, his little pickled beets, his little cucumbers, soaked in water and a little sugar and vinegar. That's how he eats. So when we go out to eat and things, and he doesn't eat much. We would sit there and say, you want this, I want that, and then we just split it. So I said, he's a waste to take to a fancy, expensive restaurant. When I'd go there, his best friend would go to a fancy, expensive restaurant because that's what his friend likes to do. And Keith wouldn't hardly eat anything there. He's not about that life. So when he sent that video, red flags went up again. Nigga, you ain't about that life. You don't eat like that. I do that, some of that.
So what about this Mr. C? Is he a more eligible bachelor?
You know what, Honcho? I thought of that, but I could never do anything like that. I've had friends, I've had people say, you want to get revenge on a man, sleep with his brother, sleep with his friend. I could never do that. You mean because you heard me say before, if a man cheats on me, I'm not getting revenge with my body parts. I'm not getting revenge that way. That's just not me.
I mean, so is there in any way possible anything that Mr. Keith could do to fully redeem himself in your eyes, or is it his status is what it is now?
It would take time because loyalty to me is everything. You mean when your man starts doing things like that, and when they cheat, they may as well they gave the women the gun and the bullets to shoot you right in your heart. You're supposed to protect me, and he always knew. I said, Keith, when the first time I had gone to Atlanta, I went across the street to the Mexican restaurant at the bar, and people always comment and say I'm pretty and this, that, and another, my shape, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I could never cheat. I said, Keith, if you would set up a wager, like go in there, that woman right there, you could send Blair Underwood in there and say, try to give her the number, get her number or something. She's not going to go for it. I said, he'll win the $100 every time. And sometimes it makes you, and I hear other women this particular, sometimes you feel badly being so good to someone because you want to be so human to them. Shut up, Coltrane. I love Coltrane. But and also I wanted to hear some of this tough love stuff. It makes me stronger. And every day that I wake up, then I feel better and I feel stronger. I'm not going to say that I still don't have love for Keith because it just doesn't turn out that way. And there's nothing worse than you have to walk away from somebody you love. And you tell them specifically what they need to do to fall on the sword. And they don't do it. That means they don't want to make it work.
That's like I said, it's really important. And it's crazy though, all that shenanigans by, one of them type of chicks that we often talk about it then, because that's what I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting. If she's doing all that, hanging in and out the hotels and turning tricks for kicks and shit like that.
I got to tell you one more thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, he sent me a text earlier or yesterday about, how when COVID, that's March, April, that's when he called the den. COVID was in effect. Mm-hmm. And so remember I was making my granddaughter the quilt out of her old clothes and things, and I was making all those masks and selling them. Yes. And I made him a mask, and he wanted a black one. And for his platinum hair, I had to get special thread so that I could outline it in platinum thread. And with the adjustable straps on the side, he had the most special one. He lost one. I made him another one like that. You're one of the best masks. So when I got so freaking mad, I said, and send me the mask back too. So he sent me a text yesterday. Oh, I know that was messed up. When you stepped in, you made me give the mask back. What the fuck you need a mask for? You ain't worried about COVID. Not when you're sitting there running around with a girl with COVID coochie. You think she's social distancing when she's sitting there fucking and sucking and eating ass? And I told you, and you could have put, you could have put your mother, she's 90 years old, at a health risk, yourself, me if I came there, your best friend. When I told his best friend, he said, Kathy, I never thought of that. Exactly. Nobody can get close like that. How do you think she's making her money? Mm-hmm. She's getting close. You don't do that. So I said, I don't want to hear nothing about a goddamn mask because you don't need a freaking mask because you ain't worried about COVID. Yep. Don't play with me.
It sounds like she ain't making no money. And shit, if you can't maintain her own shit, what he said, the country inn or something like that, sounds like one of them 2 for $20s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, it's a Radisson. It's like $100 a night. But you know what? And that's the other thing. I said she wasn't just a prostitute. She was also a hoe because his 3 cousins all ran through her, plus some other guy, and God knows how many others, and who knows if him too. I don't know. Because I'm going to tell you what, and not that I think I'm better than anybody, but a real prostitute that really needs to do it, they usually do it if they have a drug habit or those third world countries that they can't get their kid, they don't live close enough to where the plane drops down the big giant bag of rice, so they have to prostitute to feed their starving kids. This bitch ain't even got her kid. Okay? And I said, and then when she didn't pay your friend and didn't pay you, and you took her to the phone store and the bitch came up with an iPhone, I'm going to tell you something, Honcho. If anybody borrows $20 from me, you better not motherfucking buy a pair of shoes. We got a problem. You know, right?
Yeah, that's
I
correct.
would have turned to that bitch right there and said, wait a minute, you got a what? A what kind of phone? And you couldn't pay my, mm-mm,
That's crazy.
mm-mm. Yeah, so it was right in his face. He let it happen. You know what I mean? I hold him responsible. You know, not those two women.
Mm-hmm.
You mean mostly him because he's the one that made the promises to me.
Correct.
They didn't. You mean so I hold him accountable.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And like I say, yeah, just that's kind of messed up because, like I say, we held Keith in kind of a special place because we hold Miss Grace in a special place and all that. So Keith got it by, by association. And
Right,
to hear this was actually really surprising. Like I did not expect that. I thought Keith
right.
was cooler than that.
Well, I was kind of blindsided. Like I said, those little things, like little red flags went up. But then when I found out, he acts like I'm like I can't forgive him. You know what I mean? It's not like he sat there and went and paid someone, gave somebody a ride one or two times, or paid for the hotel one or two times. Nigga, this went on for a while. You mean it's what you did, who you did it with, how long you did it, and he says, well, I told you afterwards because he thinks if he tells you shit that you should be happy because he told you. No, nigga, you didn't tell me soon enough.
Yeah.
You don't go doing stupid shit and then you sit there and come and tell me and think that everything's okay. You know, like that Karen White song, I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. You mean
Yeah.
if he stepped and really fell on the sword? Oh, and this is the other thing I was going to tell you. At his friend's house, is the girl has like a little box down there, and his friend, Mr. C, he's so sharp. He went to Vietnam. He works out. This man works out, been working out for over 40 years also. His whole garage is a gym. He's got muscles all over the place. He's so sharp, beautiful split level home and all that other stuff. Everything's in place. He's like OCD. I love him. He's so awesome. Well, the girl had some things there, so I told Keith, you need to get that shit out of there because I'm going to tell you what. She ain't got no business leaving anything behind. That's like storage.
Yeah.
So get rid of that shit. You mean? So he takes a picture of garbage bags he mails me the other day. I said, the fuck you? Who you think you're playing with? You're going to send me pictures of garbage bags? I don't see garbage bags with that shit in it. So now he goes all the way over there, the other side of town, brings the garbage bags to his friend's house. And I said, so where's the stuff? Oh, I didn't feel like packing it. He didn't want to pack it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You mean? Because he knows that she's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And that means she's coming back to a place that she couldn't make it in. You know what I mean? Real prostitutes that are sharp about this shit, you mean they know how to buy houses, they know how to stay in an apartment, they know how to take care of their kids, they can have the finer things in life, they go on vacations, they have everything. This girl, and she's only 28 years old, nothing. How the fuck you think she got that way? You said you felt sorry for her. I was trying to help her. I might have saved her life. You didn't save shit because the shit that she was doing there, she's doing right now back in Virginia. She's doing the same thing there. You didn't save anything.
Yes.
He wasn't saying, and he's full of shit. You know what? And if he sat up there and called his woman and said, you know what, babe, you know what I mean, you're worried about her, and you said for me to get her home safely. You know what I mean, I don't know, what can I do to help? You know what? You go right onto the website, on the Google, and you could see that Atlanta has so many shelters for women that you'll be scrolling. Because I told you before, Honcho, in our society, there are so many places to help women, especially if they have children. But there's not enough resources out there for our men.
No.
So if you wanted to help her, I would have said, take her to a shelter, and they would have the programs and everything to help her. You mean? Or you put her ass on the bus and send her back home to her child and her mother.
Correct. It would have been a lot cheaper than
You
paying
mean?
for damn hotel rooms.
Exactly. Who the hell's he kidding? My name's not Susie. I'm not a Susie sausage head. You ain't gonna freaking tell me, that you're trying to help out. Nigga, please. But he tries to play those little games and things. Yeah. Yes, cultured. You know what I mean, damn it. Oh, look at who's this, DeWanda. Well, that's cute. Tricking for dummies. Yeah. So I said, I know what it is. I said, you wanted to feel like you were Captain Saberho because you've done that before. Similar things. I've heard you talk about it. Captain Saberho, and then you wanted to look like ride around with a young girl looking like an OG pimp. I said, I know what it is. You ain't kidding me.
That ain't sound like pimping. That sound like simping to me.
It is something. But he thinks he's cool like that.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Kenneth, he comes from a very beautiful family. He's got a very nice side to him, but I think he does have some of that pooky shit in him because he likes to be around dysfunction. See, I don't like to be around dysfunctional people. Keith's two sisters and his brother, they live beautiful lives, and their kids and grandkids. Just middle class and upper middle class, Stanford University, all of that. He's the one that likes to run around and be around dysfunction because he wants to come and try to save the day with everybody. His mother said something to me like that. She said, the other one's trying to, he said, that one there, I don't know how.
What happened? I think the phone hung up. Oh, let me call back. Let me see what happened.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
She might be calling back. Hold on. Not sure what happened. Oh, the phone didn't die. We're trying to figure out what happened here. Let me try to call back again. Let me see. Okay, there we go.
Get disconnected?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure what had happened there.
Yeah. So my daughter said, that's just happening. I mean, as old as he is, I didn't think, he shouldn't be doing this crap like this here. It's embarrassing.
How did them Grace feel about Mr. Keith before this took place?
How did who?
How did your daughter feel about Mr. Keith before all this
She
took place?
really liked him. She really liked him. Because he was so good. Not only was he good to me, he was good to me and mine. For Mother's Day, he would cash out her money. When we were going out shopping and things, he would send money for her and for me so we can go out to eat. My son had flown into California. I'm from California last summer, and so when they started opening up the country, we drove down to Atlantic City and Wild Country or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Keith sent us $100, for you and the kids to go out to eat. He got that real beautiful side to him.
Yeah.
And that's what and like I said, but he's got that beautiful side. He does it with other people that he can easily be used because he is nice. You know what I mean? And there are some people that are nice fools.
Yeah.
And so he's one of them. He's a nice fool. I never wanted to take that man or anybody else. I don't take a lot from anybody. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get over on anybody. I'm not trying to rip anybody off. You know what I mean? Whenever Keith and I, when I'd go to Atlanta and we'd spend some nights at the hotel, Honcho, the first time it was 6 nights, I took care of 3 because I always have points. And he went down with his credit card. He paid for 3. The second time I went, we spent 2 nights at the hotel. You know what I mean? I paid for 1. He paid for 1. When I fly back and forth, you know what I mean? He pays half. I should have made him pay everything now.
Yeah. Tell him you need to collect that, send him an invoice.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Yeah, because I don't want to use, I said, that's unrealistic. I don't want to use anybody up. And I wanted him to save his money, get his credit right, and things like that there, and then we could do some things because I like to travel. Even if we stop off in Florida or something and then take the ferry over the Bahamas and stuff like that there. But it's just disheartening. It is. It's ridiculous. But he doesn't think he did anything wrong, and he won't call into this den because I think, he's too much of a coward.
Mm.
He's too much of a coward. He's too scared. Because everything he says, I'm speaking in truth. You don't even know what truth is. You don't even know when you're lying. Shut up.
It's a beautiful thing, but it's not a beautiful lie that you've been telling. That's. I wish he would. I really honestly wish he would. I would like to kind of see what is on his mind, what is in his head, what is he really thinking. That this behavior is acceptable. when you got a good thing going for you and you want to hang out with something that's obviously ratchet, something that's obviously of no benefit to you.
Right.
And like I said, because it's been for a while, and like I said, I know we've had some of the discussion in Discord about, certain things that you've done to try to help him out. And there have been situations where, he was possibly getting taken advantage of, and you did your due diligence to make sure that, everything was resolved. You had to, motivate him a little bit, but,
Right.
things got resolved and figured out. And, like I said, you looked out for his best interest. And obviously
Yeah.
at this point, he's not looking out for his own best interest.
No. And he's a danger. If he's not looking out for his own, then he's not looking out for mine either.
Correct.
We're supposed to build each other up. And I can't be with anybody if I keep laying the bricks and you keep pulling them, removing them. How can we build together? You're not doing the right things. I deserve better than this, and I'm not going to settle for less. I don't want a whole lot. And I said, okay, he doesn't have to have everything that I have. But what I didn't have going for me, then he had. He had that wonderful family. He grew up with, like middle-class mom and dad in the house. His family's wonderful, with all the land and things like that. It was wonderful. His mother would say, and and I'm going to tell you some more signs. Anybody want to list? Here's some signs. From going down there, his mother would say, we need to keep you around. That old lady said, we need to keep you around because he's better than ever. And his older sister came to me. She says, my brother is doing so well. He looks so good. He's doing this, that, and other. And she said, 90% of it is because of you. And it was fun. If I get up there and cook, because I made like the sweet potato cheesecake, the nice light one, but I like to bake the sweet potatoes. When I'm in the kitchen cooking and things, I can get tired and go lay down. Keith will finish taking it out. He cleans up everything perfectly. You know what I mean? He puts my little water on the side of the bed, my little mango, chopped up mango with a cup with a little paper towel over it so no flies get in it or anything like that. He does all these wonderful things. And so that's why I hung in there. I hung in there. Wasn't that because if I caught any of this in the beginning, so that was red flags went up because everybody kept saying, "Wow, he's doing great." That means he wasn't before.
Exactly.
But I do know that, like, I can sit and just cook for myself. But if company comes over, like, my son when he comes home or his friends, when I have company, my sisters, I like to cook. I cook a lot more and do it even better. So I said, okay, so he has me, so he's doing it even better.
Yeah. And when you add that love to the cooking, that's the hidden ingredient. It makes
yes. I was cooking and cleaning, and the mother said, you came on vacation. He takes good care of his mother. Because they were going to have to get somebody in that house to take care of that woman. So he moved in because he's the only one that didn't get married. Now I know why. Braid the old lady's hair. Because that's what you do. When you're with a man, you also take care of the mother. And the family. You do what you can for the family. That's just the way it is. You send gifts. You buy things for them. And his best friend that's so good to us and takes him out to nice restaurants and stuff like that there. Yeah, you make sure that I make sure that they're taken care of too. It wasn't just Keith. So he was mad. I had bought him the black diamond wedding, like a band, not a wedding band, but a band with the black diamonds on it. I made him send that shit back to me. He said, but that makes me look mad. No, you weren't acting like a man that had a woman.
Correct.
And your little bag that you had on your shoulder, it was like a saddle bag because he's disorganized to put everything in. Send that back to me too. Yeah, and those boots that I remember Rashid and them had seen, he said he liked them. I paid for it, screenshot it, sent it. That was his Christmas gift or before Christmas or whatever too. Send it back to me. I don't know what I'm going to do with this shit, Honcho, but I'll tell you what. I'd rather have all my special little lotions and all the things that were in his bathroom, and I like customized stuff and bath salt and bath seeds and good skincare products. I tell him, send all my shit back because I said, if I find out that some bitch is using my shit, you ain't nothing but a motherfucking plane ride away.
Don't do it. He ain't worth it, Miss Grace. Don't do it. He ain't worth it.
No, I know it. I said, send me my stuff back. I'm not even playing with you. Send me my stuff back. And see, and so there it is. He had the opportunity to fall on the sword and clean up that filthy mess if he really wanted to. Clean it all up, and then I might have stayed with him, but he would have had to be on his best P's and Q's all the time.
Yeah.
But he didn't fall on the sword.
No.
You got to fall on the sword. You mess up, you fall on the sword.
Yeah, because when he was in the chat, the other night, it didn't seem as though he was, accepting any responsibility for his actions. It was just, things beautiful. Love is beautiful type stuff, whatever, things that he generally would say. So it didn't seem as though he was taking it, as seriously as he should have. Or
Exactly. It was the same, that little playful stuff that, yeah, anybody see Miss Grace? Yeah, life is a beautiful thing. All that stupidness. No, nigga, you ain't supposed to be talking like that. You did something, you hurt my heart. You mean you shouldn't feel comfortable. You shouldn't feel like joking around and things like that right now. And I know some guys hide behind that, but don't. I'm not playing with you. Don't do it. So I said, let me get my stuff back because I don't need to be going down to Atlanta.
Yep.
I don't like Atlanta anyway, and I only went down there because of him. But yeah, my daughter's disappointed because she said, Ma, I really thought she really liked Mr. Keith. Like my mother found, yeah. And her friend Vanessa would always say, your stepdad. Yeah. What an asshole.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to say. I'm sitting here looking at the chat. Who's dogging me out? I don't see any. Yeah.
I don't think too many people are. I think we've got more people who are upset with Mr. Keith's behavior than anything.
Right. Oh, look at Sarah Rona Coochie. Yeah. How the hell are you going to try to text me about a mask and you're running around with something like that? She ain't social distancing. You think so?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, and you know what? And I don't like women. I don't like women or men that don't take care of their kids. I don't.
Oh no.
You mean? And when I say how much I love my Sarah, I say, Sarah, you're such a woman. All I want to be is a good person and a good woman. And Sarah's such a woman. You mean when you got somebody like this here that's running around, and you know what? And what you have between your legs, that's your prize. You don't. There's no money for that. And your child, you don't leave your child behind to live in and to squat in an empty house. That means you're a piece of shit and you didn't have everything you needed in there.
Yeah, you got.
Just so you can buy things, iPhones.
And then if you squat in the house, the utilities probably ain't on and shit. I mean, you got dirty coochie, you throwing it around the street. It's just So this whole situation's unsanitary.
And she looks hot. A halfway cute girl, but you saw she got those bat lashes. She looks like that's the kind of girl, if you see her in Walmart, in CVS, in Target, you'd look at her and say, that's a hoe.
Yeah. I see them
right?
everywhere. Yes.
Yeah, I thought. You see them everywhere. And he got taken. It's like, and how badly he got taken.
Yeah.
So now his credit cards are all messed up, and it's going to take a long time to fix that bullshit up. And so when he was asking me for money, I said, those bitches that you were taking out Japanese steakhouses and what's that little seafood place? Where they have all the shrimp and the different combination shrimp. Red Lobster, because we don't have it around here because we're the seafood place. Yeah, Red Lobster and iPhone. I don't even have an iPhone. And wait a minute. And then she had a suite, country inn suite. No, bitch, you're supposed to have a twin-size bed at Motel 6. Because she was at a Motel 6, but he said it was very dangerous there because it's like a trap house, the one over on Virginia Avenue.
But she trapping pussy, 6. So I mean, shit, it's dangerous either way. She's putting herself in danger. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So it's like shit.
I don't know who the fuck he thinks he's saving. Well, you know what, nigga? You were busy up there saving somebody that don't want to be saved and is just going to play you, that you didn't know how to save yourself or save your relationship. You know what I mean? Now you can sip and have that. That's where you're going to be. You know what I mean? I'm not.
No,
yep. And he's probably listening right now. Keith, if you're listening, you're a jerk.
Yeah, I agree, Keith. You're a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are listening, you need to call in. Explain yourself. You have at least 20 plus disappointed people, if not more than that. There's folks who are not in the den that are also disappointed in you. You need to explain yourself, Mr. Keith. You know, there's a lot of folks in here who who had faith in you, actually inquired about your well-being, you
Right.
know, who were happy to see Miss Grace happy, and then to hear this, I think, like I said, a lot of people were let down, and I think that's
Right. Right.
that at least warrants an explanation as to what it was, what's so important, in these people that you felt the need to do these things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is very unfortunate. Oh man.
Okay, but that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Well, Miss Grace, well, I'm glad you were able to talk with us and kind of let us know what was going on. And again, like I say, I'm sorry that it had to happen to you of all people, and I know that it did make you feel a particular kind of way because you did seem happier, when you guys were kicking it and hanging out. Some of the stories you shared with us, and I can tell it can have a little bit of a toll on you. But like you say, hopefully time
Yeah, it
heals
was
all
fun
wounds.
for almost a year. It was fun for almost a year. But I'm going to finish. Look, I had to stay up for this dinner. I'm like, I'm so tired of eating grapes and drinking water and all of this. Yeah. Okay, then. I'm going to let you go. Let me sit and watch. And thank you, everybody. And some of the little comments in here, yes, sometimes I need the little tough love because I start to soften up. And say, well, yeah, I need to know. Don't. Yeah, I start up because you don't want to see somebody that you love going through hard times or changes or in pain. You don't want to see it. Even though, but I said he caused that. You caused that. You made those bills, so you need to fix it. I told you when my daughter was in high school, you know what I mean, and her and her friends all got into a fight and she was arrested. I told you, Honcho, she didn't call me.
No.
She called my niece, Anita. Went there, and my daughter tells people I had to work after three little jobs to pay my fines and everything. My mother wouldn't give me a penny. I'm not like that. I don't spend money foolishly like that there. You get yourself in trouble, you pay your own bills and things. This is my Sarah.
I appreciate the love, Miss Sarah.
Yep. Okay, then I'm going to let you all go so you can sit and explain yourself or whatever the show was supposed to be. And I apologize again, for sleeping yesterday.
Oh,
and
no.
If Keith wasn't going to call because he's just being a coward. If he really felt like he did nothing wrong, then he would call up and say, well, let me explain to you. And then maybe somebody would understand because people are different.
Yeah.
But he's just going to be a coward.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think there'll be the man up.
Okay.
There'll be the man up and explain himself, but I'm not going to expect it. It would be a surprise if it does.
Hey, wait a minute. Speaking of that Rob Myers guy, I'm going to tell you what. He is so sharp, that Rob Myers, that it's almost scary. And I was telling Sarah, I said, that man, if he's married, he must really know how to defend his mother, his wife, his woman. He knows how to defend their honor real good. And he's something else. Yeah.
I like Rob. Rob's a good dude.
Coach, he don't like Kika. Coach, don't dislike him just because he's black. But I love you, Cultured. He knows I do. That's my honey. Okay, I'm going to get off. I'll see you at Honcho. Thank you, sweetie.
All right, Miss Grace, you have a good evening, and thank you for sharing your story with us this evening.
Okay. Yep. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye. Shout out to Miss Grace. And it can be difficult, put yourself out there, to kind of make yourself a little vulnerable and share these things. So I appreciate her for that. Yeah, Rob has fire calls. Every time Rob calls, he sets the line on fire. So shout out to Rob. Shout out to Miss Sarah. Appreciate the super chat love. Mr. Keith, if you are listening, definitely like to hear your side. You should definitely post something in the chat. Let us know if you are active. If not, then I'm just talking to outer space. But we'd definitely love to hear your side as to what's going on. Are these statements true? I believe they're true. But, let us know what's happening. Because it doesn't sound like the Keith we know. But hey, some people are very good at disguising themselves. But eventually, like, who was that? Polaroid, Kodak, which one was it? You see your true colors shining through. That's why I was kicked out of choir, because I cannot sing. But, let's try to move on to a little bit of a lighter note. Heidi's a terrible person, so there's that. Okay. See, Keith need to be like Keith Sweat right now, some begging shit right now, trying to beg Miss Grace back. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. I don't even know if that was Keith Sweat's song, but sounds good. Miss Bell in here trying to. I done see Miss Bell talking about some dating and some spending some money. What's going on with Miss Bell? Let me find out. Find out she trying to make a. Oh, that was Jodeci? Damn, play us fuck up. I will die for you. So I said I was going to explain myself, right? And like I say, just some of my beliefs. We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. I got a couple of crazy things to share with y'all. Y'all know we look at some crazy videos. We go over all the wokeness in the world. Man, there's some videos I just cannot show y'all. But so I've been doing some investigating. Yeah, I said it. And just looking because I tell you, sometimes there's things I just want to say that I just cannot say on this platform, right? And so I've been looking for something. And so I have a goal. I think I may have found it. So I have a goal of soon. Now I'm not saying I'm gonna leave YouTube or nothing like that, but you got to be in control of some of your own things just in case they try to cancel you, right? So I think, excuse me, I think I may have found something that may be sufficient to handle what needs to be done. So yeah, actually, yes, racist friendly platforms. So I got to create my own, right? But also, because sometimes I come across some of these things. Sometimes some of these videos have a little bit more violence in them. And then some of these videos have, appreciate the love, Mr. Seriously. At least apologize on the Denline since you, Mr. Keith, went through the den to get support to convince Mr. Grace to give you. I agree. Right? But like I said, he said he may talk if you call him. Okay. Shoot me the number via the background. Any method would be suitable, and I will definitely call. I will definitely call because I would like to hear what compelled Mr. Keith to do these things. And I would like to hear his side of the stories, right? Okay. All right, good. So we'll wait on the videos. But like I said, as far as trying to find another platform, because like I say, sometimes, like I had, I don't know if y'all saw the video of the shoe store guy that got killed. By the man. No, that was another African American gentleman over some shoes. Apparently, I don't know the full details. Yeah, over some. I'm not even sure what shoes they were. But a nigga, I tell y'all this shit, and y'all niggas say, "Oh, you're a." Let me see if I put it right. This is what I get called, right? Because I say these things, right? But I'm just simply speaking the truth. And you got people who don't want you to tell the truth. Some of them look like me. Some of them look like others. So I am, like I say, going to work on establishing that. I'm looking at what all I'm going to need to do that. Because it's like there's certain stories that need to truly be talked about. And okay. All right, give me just a moment and I will be calling right now. Let me... So yes, and for me to have a little bit of racism and to be able to talk about certain people I'm not allowed to talk about, because the other night we watched shit I couldn't say.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Keith.
Hey, Francis, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Keith. I'm not liking what I'm hearing though, but I want to allow you to have a chance to tell your side of what's going on.
Oh, okay. Look. I'm on my cell phone, right? You want to call me on the house phone number? Can't you get a house phone number? Come on the house phone so I can look and see these chats at the same time. Okay, let me see if I can do this while I'm let me see. Hold on, let me see. You still there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Let me see if I can do this. Now, okay, I can see the chat now. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Keith, it all started, but maybe a little over a year or so ago, that you called in and we had a conversation. We first spoke, me and you and I, and then folk, listened in. And I thought you was a cool dude, Mr. Keith. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, you know what? I like this guy. He seems all right. Now we fast forward about a year or so later, and I'm hearing things have not gone so well. And we've, kind of chatted here and there. You've chatted with the den folk, we've been in Discord and things like that over this period of time, and things seemed like they were going good. What happened, Mr. Keith?
Okay. All right. Look, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna start this at the beginning.
Okay.
Right? I just caught some here you talking about the truth, right?
Yes, sir.
The truth is beautiful. The truth for me, everybody may not understand when I say I believe in magic when it comes for me. Telling the truth is magical, man. You know what I'm saying? When the truth's being told, right? Because we know who tell lies, all right? That's how I was raised up, okay? Look, but here's how the story started, right? I'm gonna tell you what you said. No, I'm gonna tell you what you asked me over a year ago. You asked me, say, where did I meet Miss Grace at? What did I tell you?
You said it was when you guys were younger, that y'all had crossed paths. I can't remember the exact details.
I said, where, I'll tell you, you should ask, where did I meet her at? I said, up in the club, right?
In the club, okay.
In the club, right? I never forgot her, right? At first, she thought it was a whole week. So yes, true enough, she stayed with me for 2.5 days. For 2 days. She's only here for 7, okay? We talking 41 years ago, okay? There was some beautiful things happened in those couple of days, okay? Now, 41 years later, I found out about her life, her children's life, and whatever, right? And when I found out about that, I asked the question. I asked the question. I said, look, I had a feeling, right? And the reason why I asked that was because it was a feeling I've been had forever. You know? When you plant a seed, things grow, right? We talking about me and you, like, we plant a seed, what grows, right?
Yeah.
We on the same page, you and I?
Yeah, we're on the same page. Depending on what kind of seed you plant, it depends on what you're gonna grow. You might plant a good seed, you get something good. You might bear some fruit. You plant a bad seed, you might get a poison plant. I don't know. So, it depends on what kind of seed you plant there, Mr. Keith. So what kind of seed are we talking about?
The seed of life. Oh, you heard me?
Yeah, okay.
All right, now, all right. You can't get to the baby bell till you get to the mama bell, right? Now, other than that, right, I'm not trying to take that too far because that's our business, right? And it's still on. You can put that together yourself, right?
I have an idea of where you trying to go.
See that? Okay, yeah, because 1 and 1 equals 3, right? Okay, now, now the other part, like I said, I haven't heard anything she said, because I'm just popping in, right? Because she just called me. And now, out of all the cities I've been to all over this country, a few times abroad, right? Houston was an awesome city for me, right? I did well in Houston, very well, right? Now, this young girl she's talking about, right, from upstate Virginia, from Virginia, right, but in the city, right. I met her through a friend's cousin, whatever, and she was just here trying to make it, okay, and I'm just gonna say I'm a good guy, right? Been around. I'm 64 years old, right? You would never know it if you was to look at me, right?
Okay.
I'm good. And Miss Grace is a wonderful man. She's a grown ass woman and cool as fuck. Okay.
I agree.
But, I'm just saying now. Only thing I got is the truth.
Okay.
Right.
But let's get down to the truth, because I mean we kind of here, we kind of there. We didn't hop cities and went international. I want to know what's going on recently. What has caused the current dysfunction between you and our lovely Miss Grace?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no dysfunction. None whatsoever.
What you mean?
That's her shit. That's Kathy's shit. Kathy's shit, right? She's just like I am. She's a catch, I'm a catch, right? I'm just gonna say this. I can only speak I can speak this language, that language well, right? Or street language or whatever I want to do. Right? Everybody's listening. But man, I'm telling you, I'm not talking about no one else, I'm talking about me. My life is good. My life has always been good, right? All because of my mother and father, right? They gave me everything, right? But I'm a country boy from you might have heard this before. I'm an educated fool from an uneducated school, right? And street life at one time was the only life that I knew. Been to college and all that, but street life was the only life I knew, right? But in this city right here, wow, it has changed a lot, right? It's an international city now with the largest airport, the busiest airport in the world, right here, right? All kind of shit go down in this city, man.
Yes, a lot of people getting flued out to Atlanta.
Look, man, this is my home, okay? But I'm not gonna see another sister misused and abused, right? Like I might have said last night, right? I might be the captain, but what did I do, right? I didn't say the whole I got her back home, right? No, I encourage her to get back home, right? To see about her 4-year-old, and she's back home with her 4-year-old, right? Trying to get back and all that, right?
But here's my question. Here's my question though. She's trying to get back, but how does she ever get away from the 4-year-old? You just talk about the mama. You just talk about the mama bear and the cub. What kind of mama bear abandons her cub?
Look. Like I say, I didn't know it like that. I didn't know none of that shit. None of that. I'm just saying. Like I say. She was told, I was told her on damn self, girl, you got nothing I want, period. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I wasn't horse tight. You know what I'm saying? No.
So what made you take an affinity for helping her resolve her issues?
Yeah. I was raised up like this too and feel this way today. It's just as good for the giver as it is the receiver, okay?
So who was giving and who was receiving?
I wasn't giving. I didn't give her nothing. I just helped out, right? She paid her way. Doing what she did. That's her shit. Well, none of my shit. I don't have to entertain that shit. I'm old again. I was raised up on certain words, right? I don't care. You can call, I'm just old. I'm old dude, man. I'm an old guy, man. Right? And thankful to be here, right? Life is good, man. Miss Grace know it. Whatever she said, right? I did nothing in the world to hurt her. She know it, right? But her lifestyle has been different from mine. We same age, right? By 8 months. Okay? We from the old school, Honcho. Right? Wi-Fi, even on her end, she can't give what she never had. Neither can I. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been married. Neither has she. You know what you want me to say? Ask me a question. Go ahead, speak freely.
Okay.
I'm here to.
Okay. So did you at any point or any time spend or utilize any assets on this young lady who was from Virginia?
Did I spend any other my assets?
Any money or assets, or utilize credit, utilize cryptocurrency, any kind of funding for this young lady?
I'm tell you what now, right? It's nowhere near what Miss Grace thinks. Oh hell no! But cause I don't know if Miss Grace told you not, right? I sent the pictures. I said I had nothing to hide. Period. Right?
Mm-hmm.
She's a beautiful black sister, right? That I was raised up a different way. I don't know, right? But she's a beautiful black sister, right? Some are smarter than others, right? Or some have guidance and some don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
All she needed was a little guidance, right? But the main thing was, look, I told what you want me to say?
A little bit of guidance. I get you. Look, man. All I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying. We square dancing around the question. Yes, it's a yes or no on this one.
Okay.
Did you assist her with any form of funding?
Maybe a little. She's a couple of days on her fee for the hotel. She's a couple of days short. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, that was like I said, right? I don't even know what a suite looked like. You know, just in my name. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a couple of days, she was a little short, but if she was doing her duty, why was she coming up short? Was business slow? Was there a mismanagement of her own personal assets? I mean, what was going on?
Check this out, right? You got to heard this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whole money, slow money, but it's show money, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but look, she had nothing like shit, man. You know what I mean? She just did, man. I'll tell you what. It was one morning, right? I put up at my cousin's house. She was there,
mm-hmm.
right? In the car. Early one morning, right? I'm going to get my mom breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
But this was in March. I'm talking about my best friend. You know, my best friend was 7 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
A true friend is closer than kin, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't call me the night before, say they got his body ready to be viewed, right? It's early in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to ride through that by myself to go see him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just need somebody to ride with me to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And she rode with me to the funeral home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked from there. You know, talked there and going back. I dropped her back off, right? And she needed a ride to go pay her phone bill. And I took her, right? And that was it, man. I didn't, like I said, right? She was good. That I need somebody to ride with me, man, to go see my partner, man. It's my friend, man. It's been my friend for over 40 years.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
I understand the situation. Like I said, I get you on that. And but my thing is, how long was their interaction with you and this young lady? From what point, from what time to up until, I guess, what, recently? Had y'all been associates?
About a couple of weeks. 3 weeks at the most.
Okay, and so in that 3 weeks, she went from Sweet back to Virginia. So you got her mentally correct. Okay.
No. You okay? All right. No. Right. I'm like 2 weeks after Sweet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
No.
Shit. You being in the process of going home to get her kid, right? I'm not finna pay for the room no more, right? No, because she had a slow day or two. That's your business, right? But at the same time, right? I got a friend of mine, right? A person who I never not known. I ain't talking about my best friends just passed, to my other friends I've been knowing all of my life, right? Got his own home, nice place, all that, right? He's a good dude too, man. We raised up together in the same neighborhood, right? He know the story. I told him the story, right? Shit. I'm just telling this kind of friends I got, right? He opened up his home to her. Okay, you can lay down for a week, it ain't gonna cost you nothing. Right? You got a place to stay, you got your own room, you got access to this, you got, that's your room. Kitchen, you safe, right? Do what you do, right? And you got a week here, it ain't gonna cost you nothing. Right? He didn't do that for her, he did that for me. Right? You knew I didn't know her. Look, this is the true story, man. This is the story. This is the truth of the matter. So easy to tell. Any other question?
Okay. So you said you knew her for a total of 3 weeks in the entirety of y'all's interactions. So,
yeah.
Okay. So at any point, did you assist this young lady with obtaining a new phone?
She got a new phone on my account, but she paid for it. Not knowing exactly what she was doing, she just she added a line to my account, right? But I gave the number to get in, right? I didn't have no problem with that. No, she paid for it. She paid the bills or whatever. She paid for the phone. It didn't cost me anything.
Okay, I get it. And phone plans can be kind of strange. Sometimes, with them phone plans, you add a line, they'll throw you a phone, and they'll do a lot of different deals with those phones because you know how that goes. But my deal is if you didn't have any concern, with her having a little bit of trouble of maintaining the room, that it would be any issues with the phone bill.
Wasn't no issues. Wasn't no problem. Wasn't no problem. She wasn't no problems. Wasn't no problems, man. None. I don't entertain the negative from the real. No way. I don't. I'm always looking at the good. I'm looking for the best.
Yeah, no, I
just like just like hold on. Even back in the day, right? You young guy, right? I remember my first time reading Think and Go Rich.
Yeah,
You got the one to Think and Go Rich action pack too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it. There's another book that's actually in that one, Honcho.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Think and Grow Rich. And like I said, I dig it. I get the positive forward thinking mentality. I definitely understand it. You know what I mean? There's no room for the negativity in the life. I get it. I'm just saying, no, it's just some points, there are concerns. So you say, you know what, you're gonna roll the dice and let it go how it goes. So you were comfortable enough, helping her get the phone line on your plan. After y'all was kind of cool for 3 weeks. What was it that got her to go back to Virginia?
Me telling her, look, she got to hear the mom talk to on the phone one day. You know what I mean? That I did here, right? I get out to your mom, right? Because it didn't work with me. Like I said, I think damn what she did, right? Just don't lie to me. We just fine. We just be just fine, And another friend of mine, another female friend of mine, right? We just friends, right? I told her the story as well, right? And when I told her about a kid, what is she doing here without her? Why she's not there with her baby? You know what I mean? That was the issue, right? Because my friend herself, right, was having problems with her 31-year-old daughter with 2 kids, right? And look, you need to do right by them babies, dude. Them babies gonna be mine, right? I know what to do and how to do it to get custody of your children, right? So I was telling my girlfriend about, they just didn't meet one another, right? They saw one another, right? But and tell Miss Grace, it was the time when she was down there doing the dude's hair, right? You know, I don't open up doors for this young sister, right? Because I got a buddy with this huge, beautiful barbershop, right? It's more than a barbershop, right? It's a building, right? He's on the barber there, but he got a bunch of women in there doing hair, right? You know, and told her what she need to do, and if you want to do some work, right? You can you got a booth. Get yourself together, then pay me. You know what I'm saying? I just you know, like I said, Honcho.
So you just kind of introduced to some individuals in your network. You were trying to help the young lady out, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she got a grip together. She got a grip together and her money together, right? And got home. Yes, she did. Didn't cost me nothing to get home. Like I said, she a couple days late on what that's how, you know, that it cost me that, right? You know?
Okay,
shit,
so
man.
so I have a question. So while all of this was going on, where you were, you know, assisting the young lady and you were, you know, introducing her to your female friend of yours and, you know, the other members of your network, how much was Miss Grace in the loop on all this activity?
She knew. I didn't hide nothing from her.
So you informed her of in real time as these things were happening. You informed her when you were helping a young lady retain her residence at the suite.
Oh, maybe not so. Miss Grace heard something one day, right? She heard something one day, right? The girl wasn't asking me to pay for her room again. She asked someone else. Miss Grace took it the wrong way, right? Shit, it happens, right? But like I said, right? Like I said from the go, the beautiful young sister had nothing I wanted, you know, nothing, right? But like I told the young man, look, Honcho, man, this is a hell of a city, right? And it's a hub for that, it's the hub for them young girls and all that bullshit that goes on in the city.
Yeah. I know how I go down out there.
She was too sharp. She was too sharp to be tricked. I wasn't finna see no sucker tricker like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause she's better than that, right? That's all. That's all, man. You know, that's all.
Okay.
And go ahead. But look, my friend Miss Grace, she just don't know. Man, she's a grown ass woman, cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? To where, girl, quit entertaining that bullshit. I'm trying to tell her, girl, let that bullshit go. I'm not studying that shit, right?
Okay. So I got two more questions for you, Mr. Keith.
How many? You only got two more?
Yeah, I might. They might, you know, span out into two. But I got two on my mind right now.
Go ahead.
Question number one is: do you still have the ability to contact this young lady?
I'm not sure. I know she called me from an 800 number, and asked, what did she ask me? She called me from an 800 number and asked, why did I cut her phone off? I didn't go into details about that, right? But she said, you know, she knew when the bill was due. She had, the month before, she cashed out the money, told me to pay the bill, and I did have no problem with that. That's her phone. That's her shit. I don't need. That was her shit, man. You know, I wouldn't have cut her off like that, right? But tell me, look, you ain't got no problem with getting somebody else to put your line on their phone or whatever you paying the bill. That's her. I wouldn't entertain that.
Okay. All right. And my second question is Ms. Grace feels like there's some discrepancies in your story. Would you be all right if I add her to this conversation?
Yes, I don't care.
Okay, give me just one moment, please. Just hold on one second.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Grace, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, Mr.
First
Keith, you there?
discrepancy.
Yeah, I'm
Keith,
here.
Okay.
when did your best friend die that girl accompanied you to his body viewing? What month was that?
March. He died probably the end of March because he died on March the 15th. His mom's birthday.
So no, it was right after that. That was March, right?
End of March, yeah.
It was the end of March because I was there the end of March.
Yeah.
I was there the end of March, beginning of April.
He died
Okay?
He died on the 15th. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got that. Okay. So that was the 18th, the 17th, and the 18th was his funeral and his viewing, because I remember.
Okay.
Okay. So you hear that, Honcho, right there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it was before that he had that girl at the barber shop with him that he was going to drop her off outside. And I said, make sure she gets home safely. So that's March, right, Honcho?
Okay.
Then I got there the end of March, and it was April 1st when his phone kept ringing, and he acted like he was afraid to answer it. And that's when I heard the girl say, I'm going to need you to pay for my hotel room again. And I went nuts on him. And he said, I ain't no sucker-ass hoe. I don't do that. That's a young hoe. I ain't going to bother with that shit. I ain't going to pay for nobody this, that, and other. He swore up and down, and I told him why it's an issue. He swore up and down it's an issue. You don't make somebody a promise that you're going to do something and not do it and then reverse it and then hide it. And I'm glad you asked them that question. Was Miss Grace in the loop? No, I did not know any of that. I did not know that she was in the country inn. I did not know that he got her luggage. I did not know at the time that he put her on the phone plan. I did not know that they had gone out to eat. He told me he had gone to the IHOP and things by himself. I did not know that he put her up for more than a week at his best friend's house when his credit cards got maxed out. Okay? So this is the thing. So I was not in the loop. And like Sarah asked a good question, how would he like it or any man like it if I ran around with some guy 40 years younger than me or young, like little young Kenneth Cologne, and I ran around with him and I got him an iPhone and put him in a hotel suite. Hey, wait a minute. What's a girl doing in the suite anyway? If you're a low-class hoe, you belong at the Motel 6 in a twin-size bed because that is your caliber. If you can't afford anything more than that, you have no business using somebody's credit card, and he should have been smart enough for that. I told you, Honcho, I travel all the time. I don't even pay for suites. I get suites because I'm a Gold Club member, I'm a Platinum member, so I get free upgrades. Do I not, Keith?
Yeah.
Okay, you know I get. When I went through Cedar, I get free upgrades. So I don't even pay for suites. When I go to Belize, yes, I'll pay for a little suite there, even because I don't have to pay for it all. But I don't pay for that. So you don't go give somebody something that you're not even doing for your woman. You don't give somebody anything that you're not doing for your own kids and grandkids. And when you saw your beautiful granddaughter the other day, I said, how many thousands of dollars did you bestow upon that girl, upon her?
She called me.
You had no business. Yeah, no, that credit card and everything's supposed to be clear.
I'm talking about the credit card.
Okay, but listen, no, I'm talking about it.
Go ahead.
Those credit cards should have been clear because let me ask you, who is helping you clean your credit up and hook you up with Credit Karma and bringing things down there and got the little plastic bags? Did I not tell you, Keith, out of those 5 credit cards, only take one out and keep the other ones in this plastic bag in this top drawer? You said, oh, no, I need 2. I said, okay, take 2, but leave these other ones here. Did I tell you that?
How many did I have?
Did I tell you that? Doesn't matter. Didn't I tell you to keep some in the drawer in the plastic bag? Yes or no? Did I not bring those little plastic bags? Yes or no?
Yeah, you told me.
Okay, you didn't listen, and now they're all maxed out. Keith,
when you told you they were maxed out? Ain't nothing maxed out.
They're all maxed out.
No,
Honcho, you know. And so if you're spending money, if you were spending money on those women, why are you asking me?
Oh, they ain't maxed out.
Yeah, yes, they are maxed out.
Hold on. No,
you've been asking me for money every day.
No,
you ain't supposed to be asking me. I didn't stay in no suites.
Okay, well then you listen.
I didn't go to no Japanese steakhouses. I didn't run that money. I don't have an iPhone.
I didn't take her to no Japanese steakhouse.
Yeah, no, you took Viola, the wildebeest, the other ugly one. You took her. Honcho, you know I sent you the pictures, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what they look like. They're dusty broads. Both of them. Dusty broads. The other one, the young hoe, she looks like a young hoe. You could see her anyway and see she's a hoe. And like Sarah put in here, oh, you can't afford an iPhone, but you can't afford to take care of your kid? And he's all proud. Oh, I might have saved that girl's life. I might have saved that girl. I told her to go back to her kid. If you're a real woman, if you're a real mother, nobody tells you to go back to your kid, because you know why? Because you never leave him in the first place. Am I right or wrong, Honcho?
John said take that to George Springer show.
This is true.
That's right.
I would have difficulty believing that a good mother would abandon her child. That's why I inquired, how does she leave the child in the first place?
Yeah. Now ask him, is she coming back?
Do you know if she's coming back, Mr. Keith?
I hadn't talked to her.
Oh, ask Mr. Keith, where are her belongings that he was supposed to get rid of? Where are the belongings? Why is he holding on to them?
You still have property of her? You still have property of the young lady, Mr. Keith?
Yeah. I
Why?
don't know. It's at my partner's house, right? I just
but Chris wanted to throw them away.
Oh, okay, well.
And then what did you do?
Anyway, look, took some plastic bags down there for put them up. Do
No, you didn't. You told him you didn't want to put them any work, and you left them there. So, Hachi, does that sound like a man that wants to get rid of somebody's belongings when they're holding on to them?
That don't sound good, Mr. Keith. Don't sound like it's. That's what
Thank
it
you.
sound like you have intentions or something. If you,
yes, I'm glad she got you on her side, right? You know what I mean?
But that's why.
No. He's on the side of righteousness.
Of you, Mr. Keith. That's why I've been trying to get you, to give us a clear view of your side so that we can have a proper understanding. And that's why I've been asking. What I've been asking.
Do you have a clear view now? I think Heidi got a clear view.
Heidi's a blatant racist.
Or she's a bot. She's not a bot, is she?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. And you're right. And that's what I'm doing. But I just wanted to hear. Can you all hear that he has no remorse? He thinks he did nothing wrong. I said, and when you run up bills with somebody else, don't you ask me for jack shit. You ain't got no business. I said, where's your pride and dignity to even ask me for anything?
I'm not trying to let out entertain what I'm having to say and don't want to say, but I'm good. Man.
Okay? No. Because you're saying the wrong things. Get off the phone. Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
fuck out of here. You heard me. And this is what he said to me the other day, because I can swear when I get mad. My daddy was a sailor. He didn't swear, but I can. I'm a lady most of the time, but don't make me mad. I swear like a trooper. And he said, he sent me a text, you women from up north, you people from up north got filthy mouth. No, bitch, you know what a filthy mouth is? A mouth that's wrapped around dirty dicks, COVID dicks, and eating ass and pussy and everything else for a few bucks. That's a dirty mouth, motherfucker, not mine. So don't even play with me. And like I told Crick, and Crick keeps laughing, I said if I was there, I'd whip his skinny ass. And I said, Crick, why you keep laughing? Because he says, I know you can take them. I know I can too. That's why I won't come down there. And that's why I told you better send me all my shit. Because I'm going to tell you what, if I had to come down there and get it, you ain't nothing but a motherfucking plane ride away. See, we broke bitches that we got it like that. We can get on a plane and fly somewhere and turn around and come back. But you ain't even worth it. But I just wanted all of my shit. Just to be a petty Betty. Just to be a bitch. Because I was good to you. And you were a dirt-ass nigger.
Now, I got a question, Mr. Keith.
Go ahead.
Do you feel any remorse for the situation? Do you feel bad that Miss Grace is upset?
I feel bad because she might be upset, right? Mm-hmm. But why would you feel bad when the truth is being told? I'm only told the truth, okay?
Yeah, he's lying. They all hear you lying, Keith. Get off. They all hear you lying. I wanted them to hear that. Because then I know for sure that I ain't crazy. He's still lying. You don't fucking do fucked up shit. You don't murder somebody, then come up there 3 months later and say, guess what? I murdered your kid, so it got to be okay. You don't do fucked up shit and then tell people after the fact. But you like to do that bullshit. Do shit, then tell afterwards. No, it's not good. Omission, when you don't tell things in the beginning, that's still a lie. You lie so goddamn much that you don't even know when you're motherfucking lying.
Why are you mad?
Okay? I'm mad because I gave somebody like you a chance. That's why I'm mad. And I told you that I can't even come back to you even if I wanted to, because I have a daughter. And I have to show her. And quit trying to sit there and try to, and I told my daughter that he tries to say that that might be his kid. He didn't even know I had a daughter till I talked on the phone. So I went as far as, you ain't my daughter's father. He said, well, she has no eyebrows, like me. You know what I mean? Her father doesn't have eyebrows either, and his name is Otis. I said, I guess I like guys that didn't have many eyebrows. I don't know. So what I did was I sent him the DNA test. And guess what? He still don't want to accept it. And I said, well, then you need to go and do your own DNA because now this part of it is done to see what's up. He still won't do it, but he still wants to answer. You're trying to, in his little fantasy world, he's delusional. You're trying to think that my daughter is his. First of all, my daughter said she wouldn't want you to be her father because you're basically a trick. And she doesn't want a trick for a father. Okay? She's proud of the father that she has, even if he didn't pay child support on his own. He always try to get in touch with her and do things like that. You know what I mean? So, no, you can't be my daughter's father because I did not have babies with raggedy men. Both of my kids' fathers are family men with good jobs. They make money. They have boats. They have trailers. They have all this shit. So when it got time, but they didn't want to pay their child support, all I had to do is go to court and they had to pay it. That easy. And then I never bothered them about their lives at all, and I don't teach my kids not to love their fathers. Not at all. They can love their fathers up there. That's between them. Okay? You wouldn't be able to be a part of this. Okay? So you lost your seat at the table. He must have hung up.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, you lost your seat at the table. You lost. So you know what? You sat up and said you wanted to get married. You didn't want to ride it out. You wanted to go to the end zone and this, that, and another. Well, you go to the end zone with those kind of women that you like to run around with. That aren't anything like your beautiful, wonderful mother. You keep running around with them and quit lying to yourself saying, I was just trying to help her out. This, that, and another. She wasn't trying to help her out because you don't show up down to leave your kid behind with no money, no place to stay, no anything. That'd be the day I ain't leave my babies for nobody. And I was a 14-year-old mother. I wasn't leaving my babies. I worked my ass off and went to school because I took an oath to God that I was going to be the best mother that I could be, and I did. I was going to outshine any grown woman, and I did it. And everything that they told me I couldn't do, I made people eat their words. So you got the wrong kind of woman. Okay? You lost your fucking seat at the table. Especially that you called on here and still being stupid. Oh, this just finished me off. Because I thought that you'd be enough man to say, yeah, well, I know I messed up. I'm glad. Thank you, Honcho, for asking. Was Miss Grace in the loop? No, I wasn't. He was hiding all of this from me, and that's why I was so blindsided by it. And his credit cards are all maxed out, and his bank account too. They gave him 1 penny.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Keith, you gotta find a young lady. We need to hear her side from this because that's the only way I can feel like that could validate your statement. Because I have a hard time believing. Like I say, I understand where you're coming from, and I understand certain principles in this life, but just the way the scenario sounds. I'm a nice person. I would like to think so, but I just don't see myself going to those lengths and extents to help an individual that I don't have some type of connection with, or that I may or may not be trying to at least get some type of return on investment on, or even if I was, supplying funding for the room or whatever it may have been, at least there would have to have been some interest payment of some sort financially. Like, what you mean? You're telling me that whole situation happened purely out of the goodness of your heart?
Mm-hmm.
And see how he lied right there? It started in March when his friend died. I was at the end of March, beginning of April. It was April 1st that I heard her say that. And the bills that I sent you, Honcho, wasn't that straight through the month of May? And I circled them red for you. Did you see those credit cards where they started out? One started out a previous balance of $39. The other one had a zero balance. And he was supposed to. We had an agreement, did we not, Keith? I said I wanted my Louis Vuitton bag that goes on the airplane. And we made an agreement. I put you on a payment plan that you can give me $100 a month until December. You agreed. When you got her a piece of luggage from your best friend, something would have said, oh, shit, luggage. I forgot to send my woman some more money for her luggage. Not that I needed it, because I have more money than you, but you're still a man. And I had no problem doing for you because I have no problem doing for anybody that I love. Something should have gone off. You're a psychopath. You're narcissistic, and I don't even like to use buzzwords that people use. You know what I mean? But you are really, because you really sitting there, you're like, I ain't doing, I ain't feel nothing. None of that. Yeah, you'll feel this punch in the face if I ever got near you. That freaking hurt shoulder that they rebuilt, I'm going to snatch and yank that motherfucker right off. Don't let me near you. I'm not even playing. Just for you being stupid on here.
I got one more question for you, Mr. Keith, and a genuine question. You know, while y'all were, interacting, do you have or felt like you had genuine feelings for Miss Grace?
Say again?
Said, while you guys were interacting over this past year or so, did you or do you still have genuine feelings for Miss Grace?
Yes.
Do you not feel that spending that time that, even though it's long distance, and I get that, that there are things going on, you didn't feel that spending that time or effort on another female would make your woman feel a particular kind of way?
Miss Grace is cool, man. I'm cool with it, right? She's just, like I said, two different lifestyles. That's all.
You didn't even answer the question, nigga.
I have to answer the question. Speak for itself. Only thing I have to say is true.
The reason why you didn't think I was going to be okay with it is the reason why you hit it all.
Okay.
That you hit it. Because, okay, in the car that day, did you not say, I won't do anything. I ain't going to do it. That's young. I ain't going to bother with that. And were you and Crick telling me how your three little cousins all ran through that girl? Yes or no? Yes or no, Keith?
I'm not even entertaining that shit.
Yeah, see, he don't want to say, they ran through it for free. That ain't a real prostitute. That's a dead-up hoe for free. And didn't you go to drop her off at some other guy's house that she was banging, and the guy says, you can't stay here anymore. I'm going out of town. So then you had no place else to take her when your credit cards were maxed out, and that's when you took her to Crick's house, and Crick said he felt badly he did it for you because you didn't know what else to do with her. That wasn't your motherfucking responsibility. Your responsibility is your daughter. Your beautiful daughter that works at a law firm, that has the perfect family, that religious, wonderful, beautiful daughter. That's your responsibility. Those beautiful granddaughters and grandsons, those are your responsibilities. Now you maxed out your motherfucking credit cards that they need something today, you can't even provide it. Shame on you. If my kid's father sat there and blew money, and then when my kids needed it, I'd whip his ass too.
Can you tell that Miss Grace is hurt, Mr. Keith?
Huh?
Can you tell that Miss Grace is hurt? that what you did, she because I think emotions, they kind of go on the spectrum. To have a certain level of displeasure for an individual, I think at some point you had to have a certain level of affection for him.
I don't know. Listen, I tell you, let me tell you this right here, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to be a puppet on the string, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You sure were puppet on string when you ran up those credit cards, nigga.
I think that's my girl right there. That's Miss Grace. That's Miss K. Grace. Right. Miss K. Grace. She knew it.
Who are you talking to?
Talking to you.
So you were a puppet on the string, and when you put your little cousin, or not little cousin, 36 years old, on your auto insurance, didn't I tell you not to because he wasn't paying it? Yes or no, Keith? And I told you not to. Didn't that happen?
I
said he ain't gonna pay you, and guess what? He didn't. So Keith had all this extra money on his insurance.
Who paid it? I did.
Yeah, late. 3 hours before it was going to be canceled. And he tried to get that from me. I said, you know what? I don't give a fine, fancy, flying fuck. You ain't getting no insurance money from me. I don't care if that car has no goddamn insurance. You get into an accident. That ain't my problem. I told you. When I first went there, when we went to Crick's house, I said, I'm going to tell you what. If you ever cheat or do anything, you better make sure she's so worth it.
I get it on the chat, right? It ain't easy, but you know, somebody got to do it.
I get it,
You
Mr.
know?
Keith. It's all right, Mr.
Yeah,
Keith.
you're just ugh. Thank God, thank you God for letting me see that this is a real asshole here. You ain't worth shit.
Bye, Captain.
Yeah, goodbye. You ain't worth shit.
Bye,
Your mother
baby.
was right about
Bye,
you.
baby. Bye, baby. Bye, baby. Bye, baby.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate both of y'all for calling in.
One love, one love, baby. One love, one love.
All right, Mr. Keith.
Brian, no, I'm not.
All right, Miss Grace.
Can I shut up? I'll say bye.
All right, bye, Miss Grace. One, sound like Mr. Keith's on some of that. Ooh, wee. Look, hit that 2 times for me because I can't partake. There's a lot that just went on, right? I think this was the night that everybody was looking for yesterday, but hey, if you ain't true to the end, you're gonna miss it out. I tell y'all never know what's gonna happen on any given night. That's why you should never miss a stream. Especially now that we actually got a Denline that works appropriately. And that was another thing. I know Trill asked me why I didn't like the Zoom, because when it's just via call, I didn't have the ability to do the multiple call thing like that. I could do, via the other stuff. But anyway, there's a lot to unpack here, right? And I know that we here in the Den have an affinity for Miss Grace. Miss Grace has been a part of the Den for a long time. And we love and appreciate Miss Grace for everything she does, for her opinions, just for her being herself. Mr. Keith is a different type of gentleman. I understand, Mr. Keith. Everybody might not. And I'm not saying I understand the actions in which took place or that, because I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you, right? There was a point in time in my life, a younger Honcho, when I told you, I wasn't always the person that I was now, right? And so there's some things I get, I understand, and I definitely comprehend. But even in those type of days, it's hard for me to register a certain kind of thing in that sequence of events. You feel me? And so that's why I have questions. But I get it, I dig it. But like I say, things happen in certain ways to where, I think, like I say, time just reveals things. Sometimes it just takes time. And like I said, I definitely hate to see Miss Grace hurt. That's the first one, because she's been, so good to all of us here in the Den. And we love to hear her stories. We love to hear just about, all the various things that she has done, that she is doing. And, you could tell that there's definitely a little pain. So you could tell she cared for Mr. Keith. I don't know the outcomes. I don't know what happens from this point. I definitely would love to hear from the young lady at the center of all of this, right? Because I think that's the X factor, right? She probably has no idea what's. No, I probably don't. See, you be wearing that fake eyelashes, you be wearing that weave and shit. Y'all know anyway. But I would love to really know how all that goes. But again, there goes Shannon. A plus height. Late with everything, right? Oh goodness. Okay. So here is the deal. One, I am not gonna be running late with all you little Negroes tonight. And yes, even if you're not black, I'm calling you a Negro. This is maybe the first time you've ever been called a Negro and you're not black. Enjoy it, embrace it. It may be the last, but I gotta give my ass some rest. I have been lackluster in my early morning performances the last few days. I don't know. I might need to change the thumbs in the title of this. So Yeah, it's just it was definitely a very interesting. I need to swap. I just need to swap out the thumbs and shit. Um, yeah, and that's kind of thing we did. I think that's why we all have a vested interest because, like I say, this kind of started in the den. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Keith called in a while back. We had conversations. Everybody in the den was kind of a part of that. And then, you know, it is where we are now. And so, those who were there at that time feel a certain way. Clayton was the motherfucking deal. It's just like it was very unexpected to hear. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all can continue this in the Discord. I would, Discord after the stream is what I try to encourage y'all to do. I'm taking my ass to bed. Okay. Now this would be different if the damn gyms would open back up and go back 24 hours again, but we got that goofy ass, what is that, Harris County judge trying to make the kids wear mad. Man, fuck that bitch, bro. Like I told y'all, I was like, y'all don't understand how I'm mad about that. Like all this trying to defy these man, like I told y'all, they damn near fucking killed the little one. You know what I'm saying? Got them fucking running mad, these fucking idiots. Like, and I'm still trying to be very reserved about what I say because the way I really want to go off, might really get the channel banned. So that's why I say I have to. That's why I am diligent. Like now that I've discovered some things, I am diligently working on being able to do some things on my own platform. So my goal is to, what is this? To have that by the end of the year, probably before that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking long term with all the other shit I got kind of working on. Not goal. I will have it by the end. That's just what I'm gonna do because there are certain conversations I want to be able to have a little bit more honestly, and you can do that when you control your own platform. Same way I talk about these rappers and independent, this, that, and the third. I need to be following by the same set of protocols myself. So, again, I fucks with y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are wonderful people. Each one of you is amazing in your own right. Heidi, much as I talk, I wish you smooth travels. You know what I mean? Just don't twerk, or they'll ban you. But yeah, I'm definitely mad about that. Judge making mandates in schools and shit like that. It's fucking stupid. It's so fucking dumb. And it's like, I'm getting, you're just trying to fucking, Harris County, we're trying to copy fucking Dallas. Dumb shit. That shit ain't doing shit for nobody. I ain't gonna lie though. We went to the fucking, they had like a little school orientation today. And boy, and some of them little porkers definitely need to be wearing their masks. And I know that sounds fucking Honcho, they're kidding. No. Yeah, motherfuckers be talking about genes and genetics and all that. No, bro. No, that's not true. It's not true. It's that diet. We were sitting in the fucking gym. We were there early because we got there actually way like first time. Niggas was actually early to some shit because we were there for the wrong time. The older classes were earlier, and then the younger ones were later. And so we were there early and shit. And then of course it would start fucking pouring down raining while we were there. And so we were in the gym waiting, and man, look, bro. Need to be talking bad about the kids, but it's some little future professor clumps out there, and Otis and Keith are the same people. But like I said, it's unfortunate. Those kids are never gonna have a fucking life. It's just gonna be bad for them, and I feel bad for them, but it's their parents' fault, right? Because it's just like you shouldn't be waddling into the 6th grade. Right. Probably should have been waddling into your virtual classrooms in the fucking 5th grade or 4th grade. And there's some other shit that I just really want to go in and go on, but I just can't because of the platform I'm on. But anyway, man, hey, I fucks with y'all. I do appreciate y'all. I'm taking my ass. I don't know what. I don't want to. Gonna be bathing in some barbecue sauce. 335 peace. But there was supposed to be some sauce today, but like I said, low orientation ran along with the storm and all that shit. And if you were in this sauce yesterday and he was like, sauce line fucked up, it wasn't fucked up. I just had the wrong button clicked. Oh. But you see, he's the worstest thing that's happened to the den. We've had some bad things happen to the den. We've had some bad stuff happen in the den. I think, well, the Chicago bike was a good thing. Maria was a terrible thing. Maria was a real weird moment in the den. You know what I mean? It was a like, cause it was only like I don't know, maybe it was longer than what I thought. Maybe it was way longer than what I thought. But it only seemed like it was like a couple of weeks, right? It just seemed like it was just a couple of weeks, maybe like 2 weeks. But yeah, it seemed like forever now that I go back and look on it. Some people have that impact, right? Because it was a tough couple of weeks. Because I think I'm trying I'm laughing at Miss Sarah. Because she was mad at Rashida. She kept that shit for like 6 days. You know what I'm saying? And like it was like some shit from way later. She come, yeah, they lived in after the thing. I'm like, what? And then this is a black channel, and it's because I'm white, and it's because I'm white. It's like, in America, you probably wouldn't be considered white. Maybe in Canada, right? Felt like hard. Man, it was tough. That was a tough time. Who else? There was one of them dudes. That was actually very funny. I wish I could find Nashville. That's the one stream I wish I could fucking find. Was when them people from whatever Nightwave or whatever radio called in. I want to find that joke so bad because I've been trying to think of that joke since that shit has happened, and I cannot remember that shit. That shit was funny as shit, and I tried my best not to laugh at it. It was so bad. It was such a fucking funny joke. I'm gonna find it one day. I'm downloading all the dance, but yeah, it was tough. It was tough. But we'll be back at it tomorrow. I'm gonna take my ass to bed. But I will dream powerful, positive dreams of all of you finding much success in the world. And whatever it is you're looking to be successful in. I know for Heidi, it's trying to obtain some semblance of an ass. I know for Brian, it's that one night stand with Miley Cyrus. And everybody else, y'all probably got some odd dreams. But that being said, let me take my ass back. I'm starting to talk crazy shit now. But like I say, time heals all wounds, and fishing. Just pay the damn $3.99. I get all the pics I want. So how about that? Yeah, just pay for it if I want it. But No, I don't believe it. I've seen it, C strings everywhere. But yeah, it was all good. Like I say, it was a good deal. We'll be rocking back tomorrow evening. So I don't want to leave you guys, but I got to. Broderick sitting in the bed and fucking next to his old lady and dried up barbecue sauce. But it is what it is. But I guess Broderick wants to keep the conversation going. So if y'all want to get a Discord immediately after this, I would suggest y'all jumping in the Discord. I don't know if Broderick's in there, but for some reason, anytime Broderick tries to call everybody to the Discord voice chat and nobody goes. So there's that. I'm trying to help you out, Broderick, but I'll get you jump started. If you can, I'll get you jump started. I'll encourage everyone to go to the Discord. I'll post the link. And you got to take it from there, Chief. If you can't make it work, I don't even know. I don't even know what to tell you, Chief. You know what I'm saying? Trill already in there, so there you go. Jump in with Trill, and get it started. It's almost. You get you a party started. Where the damn link at? What is that? I don't know what that is. Let me see. Make it like 5 uses. I don't think too many people need that much to get in there. 5. Got 6 hours to use it. I'll make it 10 just for the shits and giggles. Copy. And I think Broderick should have called everybody in choices. Broderick drunk. Broderick is drunk right now off rum infused barbecue sauce. Nigga. This nigga there talking about everybody in the choice chat. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I'm talking about Broderick drunk. I'm typing in the wrong fucking thing. Shame on me. No fruit roll-ups. You soak them in vodka, you can. And they talking about the BDN. Not true. I don't. Project order is never going to get delivered. What I realize, oh man, I should share with some of y'all. Like I keep telling y'all, if you use DoorDash in any form or fashion, y'all need to go to the DoorDash Reddit or go to the DoorDash driver Reddit. You will hear some of the worst stories. Though, like that shit makes me not feel so bad with some of the shit that I get, because there's some people in there with some terrible stories, but there's some people in there with some like great stories, so it'd be some good shit happening there too. All right, I'm going to bed, man. Discord link right there. If you are if you ever sing it on the line, everybody will call for you. We're gonna hook it up. We're gonna make it happen. Yeah, that our door, that's pretty much it. It's some crazy shit in there. Like motherfuckers are crazy. And what I learned is like when people keep declining orders, apparently they add like 25 cents to every declined order. So there's that. I'm going to bed. He pissed off the DoorDash guy. Did you report him and tell him that he can't come back to that restaurant? I think you banned him from restaurants. Somebody was there talking about they got banned from like a Domino's. They didn't even know what happened. But all right, let me go to bed. For real. I need to get some fucking sleep. I miss it. I catch my gym and shit. I've been sleeping like all crazy. Scotty been waking me up in the middle of the night trying to go piss. I made a piss before the stream, so he gotta wake me up and shit. I'm going to bed. Love you, Miss Grace, and I appreciate you. You know, sharing you. I say it like that because it's not bad, but you know, being vulnerable with us this evening and sharing your side of the story, Mr. Keith. I commend you because I didn't think you was gonna show up. Right? I didn't think you was gonna show up at all in any form or fashion. So you took the call. I give you a due for that. Miss Sarah Lou, I appreciate all the love. I know I didn't get to shout them all out as was going on. There was a lot going on, so I apologize for that. Tomorrow, same den time, same den channel. we might go longer on. I mean, think, but we might start going longer on Fridays because I know I don't stream on Saturday, and we'll see. I'm not gonna make any promises just yet. But all right, I'm going to bed for this time. Heidi, safe trip. Make it back so I can talk plenty of shit about you when you get back. Everybody else, y'all niggas know what it is. I'm out. Oh, hold on. Might be right. But I tell you, it was my honor, my privilege, and most of all, my pleasure. Because that is always true. I fucks with y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Whether you active, whether you just listening in, whether you fucking off in the chat, whatever it may be, whether you got your ass kicked out and you're just thumbing down the videos, hey, it's engagement. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I wish well for all of you. Like I say, y'all have a safe evening. Y'all protect yourselves. I wish you much success, all those good things in whatever endeavor that you have. So I'm gonna do some out. I got to go home. So I gotta get the fuck up out the den. I'm gone.